Hey everyone, it's the middle of June and there's been a lot of changes in the mortgage and real estate industries. There's a lot to unpack, but today I would like to focus on one question. Is it a bad time to purchase a home? This was a question that was posed in a recent Gallup poll, and about 70% of respondents agreed that it is in fact a bad time to buy a house. And that makes sense if you think about it. Interest rates are rising quickly, and house prices are continuing to rise as well. Those two variables, a normal, logical person would think, yeah, it's probably not a great time. But is that correct? I don't know. Let's talk about it. My answer is going to be it depends. I think for a lot of people, it's a great time to buy a house, and for others, maybe not so much. So when somebody asks me that question, hey Justin, do you think that now is a bad time to buy a house? I'm going to follow that up with a bunch of questions of my own. What's the purpose of you purchasing the home? What are your needs, wants, and goals? Is it going to be your primary residence, or are you buying this as an investment or a vacation home? Let's talk about a situation where it would be a good time to buy a house. Say you're a young family who's been saving money and renting an apartment, and you're just at that point in your life where you're ready to make the next move and become a homeowner. I would say go for it. Let's give an example on that. Say they're looking to purchase a $400,000 house today, and they put 5% down. So they're going to borrow $380,000 on this $400,000 home. The general consensus is that home values are going to increase by approximately 6% over the next 12 months. A side note, these aggregators like CoreLogic, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, a lot of them have cooled their jets on their projections as it relates to home appreciation, but that's a different topic for a different day. So we're just going to go with 6% for now. So that $400,000 house is going to be worth about $424,000 12 months from now. Let's not forget that they're also going to be paying down principal on their mortgage in that time. And at a 6% interest rate, you're going to pay off about $5,000 worth of your principal over the first year. So this young family, they now owe $375,000 on a house that's worth $424,000. They now have almost $50,000 in equity after just 1 year. Let's talk about year two. Say that the market slows down and we go back to what's been expected historically in terms of appreciation, and the house increases by 3% the next year. House is now worth $436 and change, and they've continued to pay down their mortgage, and now they owe $370. This is about $66,000 in equity. You can see where I'm going with this. Even with rising interest rates and an ultra competitive real estate market, homeownership is still the number one way for American families to build wealth. It just is. So if you're looking to put a roof over your head, I think now is a good time to buy. But Justin, what if interest rates go down later? Well, that's perfect. You can refinance at that time and take advantage. And if rates never go down and they continue to go back up, then great, you bought when rates bottomed out in your lifetime, or at least in the time in which you would have considered buying a house. What about an investor? Is it a good time to purchase an investment property? Maybe. Investors really depend on the cash flow. So the question to ask is, how is the house going to cash flow, and how does that align with what your goals are? What if someone wants to buy a second home or a vacation home? See, this is where it gets a little bit more murky. This is where you have to do a little bit more digging and ask more questions. Maybe it's not a great idea for somebody to buy that beach condo today. It's hard to say. But generally speaking, is it a bad time to buy a home? Probably not. If you guys disagree with me, you think I'm full of crap, you have any comments, please feel free to let me know. Comment, email me, call me. I'd love to talk about it. I'd love to see your feedback.